Hello YouTube world, welcome to my channel, and today we're going to make a review of Vision Bootleg action figure. And this Vision is belongs to Captain America Civil War action figure series, which is you have seen in my previous videos, and that is the front of the packaging if you want to know. And if you're wondering why there is 3 there, and yeah, perhaps the Chinese people, because this is made in China anyway, maybe the Chinese people misunderstood that this Captain America Civil War movie is actually sequence of Captain America, right? And they thought that this is the third sequence of Avengers, and that is why we consider this Avengers printed name under it. So anyway, this is the front of the packaging, and this is the back of the packaging looks like. And I've showed it this packaging many times in most of my videos, because most of my bootleg action figures are come from Captain Civil War bootleg action figures, and this Vision action figure is also one of them. And I think in all of the bootlegs that I have, this is the most, the most perfect bootleg. And the second to it is, I think, the Captain America. I think for me, the Captain America, because this is the Captain America bootleg. And how they build the Captain America is also looks good. It's actually look good looking figure, and how they built it and the details of this action figure of Captain America is also looks good. But this Vision action figure is actually almost perfect. It's almost perfect, right? So yeah, I put this Vision action figure on a plastic stand, so it looks so I can make it look like floating in the air. So let's try to take this action figure closely, and let's see how good this action figure is. And let us make it stand. So when it comes to all the bootleg action figures, this is the most perfect, and I don't have complaint about this figure, and maybe just a bit of it, but not that necessary, and just minor. But look at that appearance, look at that face, that Vision, right? It's really great. It's impressive. The sculpt, the details, the colors, really great. Look at that, right? Look at the details. Who would have who would have thought that this is a bootleg, right? And this is how it looks like behind. I think what is lacking about this action figure is it's a little bit paint details at the back of his what you call this, his cape, right? Or I don't know if this is just a plain yellow. So yeah, just comment down below and tell me if there's a little bit details of colors here on his cape, or it just plain yellow. But after all, and for the most part, this action figure is really great. And look at the sculpt of his head, right? Really looks great. Even on the side view, the head is actually proportioned to the body, and there's no weird, you know, like what I showed you in my previous video, like of this falcon, right? At the back of his head, look at that. The back of the head of this falcon is weird, right? But look at that vision. This is bootleg, and the falcon is actually original but basic action figure. But the way they sculpt and build this head, it's really owned by this body, right? So I like the how they built this action figure. It's really proportioned, and the head sculpt really looks good. And look at that face, right? It looks realistic, and the details at the back of his head, I like it. And I think there's lacking on his neck. As far as I know, there's also gray or silver details on his neck, but this bootleg has, yeah, just like it. See that? But on the side of his neck it's just plain red, so that is just uh, lacking on this action figure. But for the most part, it really looks good. And it has this cape. So actually his cape is something that you can remove from his back. You can actually detach it. Yeah, that's it. So you can see on the upper part of the back of this vision, it has that wide hole, and where the cape should be attached, right? And the body of this vision is made up of plastic, right? Made up of plastic. And this his hands and head is made up of fiber, kind of rubber. But unlike to Captain America, which is so unlikely because the body of Captain America is shining, and the hands are darker. It looks weird, right? You can see the difference. It shines, and here darker. So the color of this Captain America is inconsistent. Unlike to the vision, the body is also made up of plastic like Captain America. But when it comes to the hands, right? Yeah, it's true that it's a little bit darker, but it you cannot notice it because it really looks the same. And look at that impressive texture, right? It really looks good, and I love that. From his chest down to his belly, and he has abs, right? And I love that paint on the chest going to down to the torso of this vision. It's really neat and clean, and even its hand, look at the details, right? The texture is really great. And the hand, yeah, just few details on this forehand, but it looks good, right? And on the other side, it's the same with the other hand. And look at that. Look at the detail, right? The paint is really perfect. There's no overlapping, there's no bleeding of paint. Great! And it is bootleg, right? And even how they sculpt the knee of Vision, it's great. You see that? It's perfect. Right. Perfect. It's something like it's just one material, and they slide So the fit of this Vision action figure, it really looks clean. The way the cut of the knee of this action figure, look at that, right? And when you put it back, really clean and neat, right? So I like that. And even the shoes, the details of the boots, it looks great. And on the other boots, great also. And I like that gold color, how they paint that. It's very clean. And it has also a Marvel 2016 imprinted under the feet of this Vision action figure. And yeah, I like the back. There's so much details also at the back of this action figure, and the texture. Okay. I like it. And let's put it this Vision, and it has this cape, and I think the cape looks okay, right? And it has red details painted here under the cape of this Vision, but at the back of it there's no detail, there's no paint of red color like this one, right? But somehow there's so much details, lines and wrinkles of the cape of Vision, and I think this it looks fine. And on the upper part of this cape, it has like a peg like this one, right? And this is where you are going to put at the back of Vision, like what I have showed you lately. The back of Vision, on the upper part, it has a hole wide open, and on that hole where you are to put the peg of cape at its back, and just put it, and that's it. So we have now the Vision with a cape, and I think it looks great. It looks great, right? And it looks great. So let's try to articulate this action figure, and let's start with the head of this action figure. It can actually rotate its head 360. It can move just a bit of it, but it cannot actually look up. A little bit movement downward, but it cannot actually look down. And there's also a little bit head pivot, and you cannot move his hand wide open that much. It's just that's it. And it has also bicep swivel, and it has also a double jointed elbow, and I like that. It can bend the elbow that much. I like that. And also the same with the other elbow, and it's good that it can reach the back of his head like that, right? I like that. And you can move it. You can rotate the rest of this action figure, but you cannot move it up and down. You can also move it up and down. You can turn both hands 360, and it has also articulation on the chest. You can move it up and down, side by side. There is no articulation on the waist, but you can make it kick just that far, and the same with other leg that far. It can split that far. I like that. It can split that far. It can kick back that far, and the same with the other feet that far. And you can bend his knee that far. I love that. And the same with the other knee. It really look flexible, And there's also articulation, ankle pivot, and you can actually move it a little bit, and the same with the other boots. There's also ankle pivot, but you cannot actually move it up and down, just a bit, right? Just a bit. Okay, and uh, let's take the cape once again. And I think this vision is really flexible, that it can actually sit an Indian sit like this. And let's make this vision sit, and let me show you how flexible this vision is. Right, look at him. Oh, vision, you look great sitting like that, right? I like that this action figure, it really looks great and flexible. So let's put back the cape once again and make this vision stand. And this is the Captain America bootleg action figure, which is more taller than Vision. And yeah, as far as I know, Captain America is one of the tallest Avengers. And this is the Bucky bootleg action figure. Right, so yeah, they are good looking action figures, right? And even the Vision is also looks good, and actually that is my most favorite, one of my most favorite. And this is the good looking action figure of all the bootlegs. And first this Vision, secondly the Captain America action figure that I have showed you. So what can you say about this action figure? Just comment down below what can you say about this action figure, and just hit like if you like this video, and if you like the Vision action figure, and don't forget to subscribe. So thank you for watching my video.